everybody, welcome back to Trailer Tales. Today we are in the beautiful Black Hills of South Dakota, and we are going to visit with a couple of friends of mine, extremely talented musicians and wonderful people. Hey everybody, welcome back to Trailer Tales. I'm Abby Maginnis, your host, and today I've got Brad and Bonnie Exton with us, the Ramblin Rangers.
Ramblin Rangers.
Yes, actually we're longtime friends. We've known each other about, would you say 10 years?
Yeah.
10 years,
At least?
About,
yeah.
you
You were only about this tall.
I
Playing your
thought you
fiddle
were
up
about
there.
14, I think, when we...
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
But we're here in the Black Hills near Hot Springs, South Dakota.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
Brad and Bonnie are going to play us some songs, and we've got some other friends that are going to do some poems and some stories. But tell us about who you are.
Well, go ahead. You can talk about how we started here.
Well, Abby, we come by our name Ramblin Rangers pretty honestly. We're both retired rangers, forest and park rangers, and we do ramble a lot. We basically Arizona to Alberta most years when we can get up there. During COVID they won't let us cross the border, but we do ramble a lot, and we started playing together in 2006. We were both ranger and down at Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument in southern Utah, and I had laryngitis, and I was supposed to do the program for the 10th anniversary of the monument. It was the 10th anniversary, which happened to be Brad's birthday. Anyway, he was the new monument manager. He just started, and so I had this bronchitis and turned into laryngitis, and couldn't sing, couldn't talk. It was, So I came up to him one day. He came in the visitor center. I had my little songbook. It was the Kane County Cowboy Campfire is what it was. Anyway, I said, "Can you help me do this?" And he said, "Sure, I can play guitar and sing." And so it was some of the old cowboy tunes that you'd sing around the campfire. Anyway, so we kind of got started that way. And then once my laryngitis got over with, he invited me to do the Everett Roost Days celebration up in Escalante, Utah. And that's the day I started with our name. I said, "How about Ramblin Rangers?" He goes, "Oh, I don't know." It stuck. And so that's kind of how that all got started. We started doing cowboy gatherings and stuff like that. And would you like to add to that?
Well, just that we started out in Utah and then moved back up here. I had worked here in the Black Hills and had some land up here, and we moved back up here in 2008 and started getting involved up here. Kind of taking it from there, and after Bonnie retired, we had a lot more time and started spending a lot more time on the road and taking our music.
And our 4 cats and our dog and our
Usually,
other instruments. The whole family goes.
You go south for the winter, don't you?
Yes, we do. We spend winters in New Mexico. We have a job playing music down there at a ranch.
It's the best kind of job you can
It's
have.
the best job. It's our
Doesn't get much
retirement
better,
job.
I don't think.
It's a lot of fun. We have a nice following of folks down there, I'd say. So it's good.
We're going to do a song right now that's the title song from our last CD. It's called One More River to Cross. And as you'll hear in this quote, there were many rivers to cross on the way from Texas to Montana, and there wasn't a bridge on a single one.
The numerous rivers which cowmen did, many lives were lost in the trail herd days. There weren't a single bridge on any river between Canada and Texas. No, sir. Bob Fudge, 1882.
Roll myself out of bed with sleep still in my eyes. 4 o'clock in the morning, couple hours for some ride. Cook He's banging cooking pots and there's coffee on the fire. He's got a long day ahead of us, a job that's bound to tire. We're heading up the North Trail with a herd of restless cows to the plains of Montana where the wind and snow's abound.
That are with us today. First of all, my wife Bonnie Jo, who plays the guitar and mandotar, also sings harmony. Peggy Douglas on the bass, and our friend Ricardo Hakame, who's a poet and the voice of Bob Fudge.
That herd 1,000 miles, the odds will hope to beat. The rivers we cross are killers, hard to tell which is the worst. The boys are all real nervous to see who crossin' first. If the quicksand doesn't get you, or the current running swift, then the cows might start stampeding. Sure hope your horse don't trip. We got one more river to cross, one more trail to ride. We'll move those cattle onward till we get to the other side. The trail is long and hazardous when we get to the Yellowstone. We got one more river to cross, one more trail to ride. Now the air is getting cooler, the end is soon in sight. Hope to cross that mighty Yellowstone, for day turns into night. I wish of every cowboy when he sets out on the trail, cross that big old river, come back and tell the tale. Got one more river to cross, one more trail to ride. We'll move those cattle onward till we get to the other side. The trail is long and hazardous when we get to the Yellowstone. Got one more river to cross, one more trail to ride. The trail is long and hazardous when we get to the Yellowstone. We got one more river to cross, one more trail to ride. Got one more river to cross, one more trail to ride.
You're actually up for some awards, or you have won some this year with the WMA?
We were real fortunate. Our latest CD, the One More River to Cross, was in the top 5 for traditional Western CD of the year in 2020, and the title song, One More River to Cross, won the Working Cowboy Song of the Year category. So that's a real honor for us, and we'll receive that award this November in Albuquerque at the convention.
Wow, and that is your newest CD, correct?
That's our newest CD.
Yes, from 2020. Yes. We're working on some other ventures. We may end up with another CD here along the way pretty soon, but right now we're trying to put together this comic book.
Well, we're putting together a group of
A load of hay just went by.
Yeah.
We're kind of in the park here in Hot Springs, and it's kind of rush hour. We just saw a whole load of hay go by.
At least it's not during Sturgis week.
Yeah.
So, but we're trying to put together a group of really talented folks and kind of have a, I guess for lack of better words, a choreographed show that we can take to schools, museums, any type of educational program. And it'll include Bonnie and I as the Ramblin Rangers, Peggy Douglas, who also plays bass with us, but she's also a specialist kind of in the life and times of Badger Clark. Katie Lautenschlager, who plays fiddle with us occasionally. Ricardo Hakame, as I said, is a poet that specializes in the original cowboy poets, the ones from the 1800s that really lived the life. And then we have Cheryl Cedarberg, who is also a really excellent poet, but she writes almost all of her own stuff, and it's more modern day approach. So we're going to have a real good mix of talents and storytelling and music. And I think we'll be able to get that program, I hope, started by spring of 2022.
Okay. Well, we're going to hear a few poems and a song from the Ramblin Rangers. And your group doesn't have a name yet, correct?
We
Not
got
quite.
no, we got several in the bucket right now.
several.
So the Ramblin Rangers and their friends here in just a second, and then we'll get back to sharing some more.
Bruce Cascadden, he is revered by everybody that has ever read a cowboy poem, or even today, the wonderful men and women who are continuing the tradition of writing cowboy poems. This is a poem that he wrote called Forgotten. Yep, he used to be a cow horse that was young and strong and fleet. Now he stands alone, forgotten in the winter snow and sleet, where his eyes is dim and hollow, and his head is turning gray. He's got too old to follow. Just a horse that's had his day. Yeah, well, they've forgotten how once he packed him in an easy swinging lope, how he braced his sturdy shoulders when he sat back on a rope. Didn't bar, weight nor distance, answered every move and word, though his sides was white with lather while he held the milling herd. Now, he's old and stumbles. He's lost that strength and speed that took him through the darkness to the point of a stampede. His legs are scarred and battered, both the muscle and the bone. He ain't just a white cow. So, they've turned him out to winter best he can amongst the snow. There, without a friend, lonesome. You think he doesn't know. Through the hours of storm and darkness, he had time to think a lot. That horse may be forgotten, but you bet he ain't forgotten. He stands there, and he ain't none worried, for he knows he's played the game. He's got nothing to back up from. He's been square, and ain't ashamed, for no matter where they put him, he was game to do his share. Yeah. Well, I think more of that old pony than the folks that left him there.
Hey everybody, welcome back. I've got Cheryl Cedarberg with me, and she's going to do some cowboy poetry. Would you consider it cowboy poetry? Absolutely.
That's fine.
And it's your own work?
Yes, I write my own.
All right. Well, we'll get you started.
Thank you, Abby. I'm Cheryl Cedarberg, and I'm glad to be here on this beautiful day. I've got a couple poems for you. The first one is about an event that happened about a little over a year ago, about Sturgis time, when a woman and a buffalo became acquainted. Well, ain't that just the cutest thing that ever caught your eye? Like cinnamon and sugar with his mama standing by. Now that calf may look real cute in his young and tender age, but that mama standing there's a half ton of bison rage. So if she shakes her shaggy head and glares with that eye so black, then starts pawing with that hoof, you best be staying back. 'Cause she can take you by her horns and spin you round and round, and might disrobe you of your jeans before she slams you to the ground. Here in Custer State Park, we don't need the drama. Best be staying on your bike, and don't mess with mama.
And one thing I'd like to add, just a little plug, if you notice the guitars that Bonnie and I have, our custom guitars are made by a good friend of ours, Valerie Belitho. And Valerie was a luthier with the Gibson Guitar Company for about 24 years, and then went out on her own. And we're working on a deal right now for Valerie and the Belitho Custom Guitar Company to sponsor the Ramblin Rangers. So we're real proud of these instruments.
They're
Show it
beautiful
off a little
instruments. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
we'll
get them
just-
up there. as
we'll
close
get up
as
here
we
and show a
can.
little bit of some of the work.
I know we
We've
had
got
some footage of them
Fuji
in
in
the
here.
songs.
Here's the Ramblin Rangers along here, and we both have the horses on the pick guards. And then, of course, mine is the pretty special Macassar ebony back and sides.
And
of
mine
course,
is
our
rolled up
Ramblin',
and bird's eye maple.
and our Ramblin' Ranger boots are on the headstock there, so they're pretty custom. Anyway, we love them, and that's our Bolitho guitars, and they're beautiful. They sound great too. So
Yeah, they have a beautiful sound. I would love to play it here in a minute, not right this second. But I was going to say, her name was Valerie.
Valerie Bolitho.
Valerie Belitho. Okay.
B-O-L-I-T-H-O.
And I'm going to get all the information, all the people, and all the information on the guitars and put it down in the description box below for everybody to see. But when you're talking to her, if she wants to have her own episode on Trailer Tales,
yeah,
I would drive up, see her, and learn
drive
about
up
these
to
guitars.
Billy's? Okay.
I absolutely would. 'Cause I'd love to know how all this comes together.
Oh.
They're just beautiful.
They're works of art, each and every one of them.
The song we're going to do is one that I wrote about an old fellow that lived down the road from me back when I was growing up. And I used to go down and spend time with him. We'd sit on his porch and he'd tell me stories, and he'd bring out an old guitar and he'd play the old cowboy songs. And I just remember him a lot, and he was one of those fellows that was just the salt of the earth. And so this tune's called Boys of the West. 2, 3, 4.
Was the oldest man I ever knew. His face red like a map. He'd been everywhere and he'd done everything, and it showed in the sweat on his hat. He moved into town not far from my place. I'd see him when I went by. By his house when I was going somewhere, and he'd always come out, say hi. Well, his house wasn't much, just a tar paper box, really no more than a shack. He didn't have much but his memories and pride. His dog and his horse stayed out back. Me the stories of when he was young, how he rode on the Great Divide. Grab his guitar to give me a wink, and then he would sing me this song. Whatever happened to the boys of the West, Roy and Gene and all of the rest, the ones who knew right, the wrong were the best. Whatever happened to the boys of the West? Whatever happened to the boys of the West? Been gone for such a long time, but his spirit is always so dear. It's a part of my youth that's here no more, but those memories are always so dear. When I think of the world and the mess that we're in, everything gone down the drain. Difference between black and white, and all we seem to cause is pain. Well, I think of my old friend, all that he said, how we do right from wrong. The stories he'd tell me about when he cowboyed, when he would sing me this song. Whatever happened to the boys of the West, Roy and Gene and all of the rest, the ones who knew right from wrong? best. Whatever happened to the boys of the West? Whatever happened to the boys of the West?
The Montana man Robert Fletcher published Prickly Pear Poems in 1920. This is one of those poems, That Little Baldy Hoss. You see that little baldy hoss standing over there? His eyes half shut, his head drooped with a plumb dejected air. Looks to you worth about 2 bits, not a speck of use. Well, I wouldn't take a million for that little old cayuse. That brand up on his shoulder, sure, that's a lazy bee, which signifies, my pilgrim friend, he belongs to me. You see, we've been pals together now for 15 years, gone by last spring, huh? That's longer than most menagreens, and that's a dead sure thing. Yep, he's packed me miles along them western trails from Texas to Montana. He can tell you many tales about the night herds and the roundups, valley, mountain, tableland, Chinook, northern blizzards, and the desert's burning sands. I say he's tougher than the devil. He ain't doggone long on looks, but he knows a powerful lot of things ain't wrote down in books. He knows them quiet coulees, and he's seen them hills and breaks, the alkaline sagebrush, and them stagnant prairie lakes. And he's seen them doggies set to melon by a crooked lightning flash. 5,000 longhorns a-stirring for that hell-bent thunder crash that seems to get 'em locoed and starts the big stampede, while the air, it's full of terror, like the souls of hell is free. Yeah, he knows the rangeland, cattle, ropes, branding fire, and he savvies what I'm talking about right now, or I'm a liar. See him cock his ears up? Sort about his eyes. Well, he's got hoot owls by the treeful, skunked to death for being wild. And when I point away to find that bit of heaven's ground, he'll be waiting there to pack me, kind of show me around. Of course, he ain't no thoroughbred, but then I'm here to tell you, boss, I wouldn't take a million for that little baldy hoss.
My husband grew up in Kimball, Nebraska, and there we quickly learned that you can either ride in the wind or not ride at all. So here's Nebraska wind. Now a 10-mile wind will make the windmill spin that brings water to the cattle when they come trudging in. A 15-mile wind, we call that a gentle breeze. It might bring an evening shower as it rustles through the breeze. A 50-mile wind, better hold on to your hat and tighten down that stampede string, because you're sure gonna need that. Hold your blanket in one hand because it won't stay there long, and while you swing your saddle on and it's 25 miles strong. But a 30-mile wind comes roaring down the canyon. You softly touch your horse's neck to steady your companion. A 35-mile wind, we call that a dirty blow. Dirt like sandpaper pits your face before you reach the barn below. The tumbleweeds are tumbling and catching on the wire when it's up to 40 mile and the stacks are getting higher. But a 45-mile wind will make the windows rattle. Though you'd like to go inside, you gotta check those cattle. Good thing there's no snow, or we'd be in a blizzard, 'cause we're up to 50 mile. Don't that stick in your gizzard. But a 60-mile wind, better get out that baling twine and tie down everything you own, for it blows past the county line. It can blow in all directions, and that's in a single day. So you better get used to that, my friend, 'cause that's the Nebraska way.
good. Oh.
And I change it. Sometimes it's Wyoming way. Depends on where I'm at, you know.
So was there anything else you wanted to tell us about you?
I think that's good enough.
Okay, would you introduce yourself one more time, just
All right.
in case?
Sure.
Go right ahead.
Hello, I'm Cheryl Cederberg. I'm the poet of the group, the female poet, and I'm delighted to be here. I write my own material because for me, writing is half the fun and the other half is performing it. Thanks.
So here we are back again, and we're going to talk a little bit about how you can actually see the Ramblin Rangers in person or their new endeavors. Let me help you out here,
Are
buddy.
you stuck here?
You're falling apart.
All tangled up and everything. Thank you, Abby.
But they're on a new endeavor to have this group of amazing musicians, poets, talented people that are going to go around and educate about what, Brad? What
About the West. What we try to do is, make sure that the Western culture continues.
Mm-hmm.
And that's through both history and current Western culture.
Okay.
So that's the intent of this.
So you're gonna get a tour bus and travel all together? Like there's about 8 of you, aren't there?
That would be nice, but so far we can't even afford a roadie. So.
But it's not only to educate but entertain. We'd like to keep it
entertainment too.
entertaining too, because if we go into the schools or into some museum, or of course Brad and I play a lot of chuck wagons just as it is.
Let's let this motorcycle go on by.
Yeah, going by motorcycle. Go back to Sturgis.
It's such a beautiful drive up here in the leaves. It's gorgeous.
Pretty canyon, hot brick canyon.
Oh, here comes another. Let's hold on just a sec.
Yeah.
So if somebody wanted to get all of y'all to do an educated thing, how would they do that?
Well, one of two ways, I would say. One, they can give us a call, and this number works for both the Ramblin Rangers.
It'll be listed below.
If you just wanted us, or you can get us on email also at ramblinrangers@yahoo.com.
And you'll travel anywhere in the United States?
Pretty much anywhere in the western
The western
Our
side.
motto is "Have guitars, we'll ramble."
Oh, well, there we go. Okay.
So,
Well, let's hear some of those Ramblin' tunes and be back in just a minute.
thanks, Abby.
Thank you, Abby. The next song we're going to do is called Cold Backed in the Morning, and I co-wrote it with a good friend of ours, Jim Powell, from Custer, South Dakota. And it's, for any of you that have had horses, you probably know what a cold back horse is. And if you don't know what it is, you can ask Bonnie, because she grew up on a cold backed horse, and she goes to the chiropractor twice a month just because of that.
Well, not just because of that.
All right. All right.
Running free on the prairie, a cold, wild and wary, a rotating 8-10 land. He grew tough and wiry, and his eyes wide and fiery, belly full of nothing but sand. He was cold backed in the morning, never gave me no warning. Well, he was one to jump in the air. He came down and spinning, I swear he was grinning at me, grabbing for leather and hair. Cowboys who knew me, they watched when he threw me. They'd hide their smiles when they can. He was a horse for all ages, and they lost all their wages whenever they bet against man. He was cold backed in the morning, never gave me no warning. He was one to jump in the air. He came down to spinning, I swear he was grinning, knowing he left me up there. never resented the challenge presented. A strap in my rig on the dam. He remained my best friend all the way to the end. The horse, the belly of sand. We grew old together, no matter the weather. Each morning he hunched up and tried, till one day at dawn the bucket was gone. Old Dan, he laid down and died. Never gave me no warning on that cold frosty morning. He was wanting to go up in the air, but I bet he'll be grinning and a bucking and a spinning the day I join him up there. Yeah, I know he'll be grinning and he'll buck and he'll spin the day I join him up there. Yeah, the day I join him up there.
So that was Cold Back in the Morning. Is that that's the name of the song?
Yep.
And it is here on Ramblin Rangers Retrospective.
Retrospective,
It's
yep.
a really pretty CD cover.
Thank
Who's
you.
on the front of
designed
that?
all those. Brad when he was little and I when I was little, and then there's us together nowadays. So.
Oh, that's great. And this fits into your CDs here. Is it the third, fourth, fifth, newest? How does that fit in there?
That's the fifth newest, yeah.
Yeah.
Quite a few CDs
It's
here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes,
Yeah.
this is the newest, and it goes back
It
from
goes
there.
back. So,
Yeah, to a couple of
All
older
right,
ones
so
we
we've
recorded
got-
in our own studio.
Oh, so Ramblin' On is the very first one.
That's
That'd
the first
be
one. Yep. mhm.
clear back 2015. It looks like it's
Actually,
all rights reserved, or
I
is it
think
further back than that?
I think it went further back than that, and those were new covers that we did.
Yeah.
Oh, we recovered it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ah, okay.
yeah, I designed all those covers. Actually, Brad's sister did the artwork on
Oh, wow.
Howlin' at the Moon.
It is so pretty.
Isn't that neat?
So we got Howlin' at the Moon, and then
That's our
Keepsake
live
songs.
CD, the keepsake songs.
That's
yes.
live.
is that live from around here
It was
somewhere?
Yeah.
live at the
in
Naked
Custer.
Winery in Custer.
Oh, well, that's a fun
Yeah.
place.
Yeah,
The High Hopes and Hard Luck Trails
yeah.
And that one did win an award too back
It did.
in
with the Western
2019.
Music Association.
No,
No,
with
that was-
with the Rural Roots Commission.
And where's that out of?
Well, they were out of Iowa, and unfortunately, the founder and president passed away this year.
Yeah, Bob
So-
Everhart. Great loss. I must
Yes.
say. And that one also, High Hopes and Hard Luck Trails, has our saw player on it. You know, Beverly.
I have seen your
Yes.
saw.
Yes.
Oh, she's
And so
incredibly talented.
That is
she
a
actually
special one.
plays a saw.
A
Musical song, one of the
She's been
best.
doing it for like 50
Incredible.
years, and she's very good at it.
So then, of course, we've got Retrospective.
Which is some of our favorites. That's all. It's kind
Yeah,
of
it's kind of our first.
we
10
wouldn't say
years.
greatest hits because I don't know if any of them were hits, but at
I don't
least
know how great any of them are.
at least in our mind they were.
Absolutely. And then One More River to Cross.
Yes.
And from the looks of things, it got all kinds of history and
And
things
the
in
One More
the...
River to Cross, there is, yes. That's
Yeah,
kind
there's
of
all
a
kinds of stuff
mini
in here.
history lesson. It's got the map
The
of the old Western trails from
Inside there's
and
more
inside there's
information.
Oh, there's
a
even
sleeve
more
in
in
there, and yeah, you have to kind of dig
Well,
through it.
I will
Anyway,
dig-
you can look
I'll
through
dig
the
through it
book.
here in a minute.
Yeah, that's okay.
But,
It's kind of fun.
so just CDs from you all, no books, no nothing like that.
No.
No,
You have a website and do you have a YouTube?
I think we mainly do things through Facebook.
Yeah,
Okay.
Facebook is the best way.
Ramblin'
Ramblin' Rangers Western Music. So
Okay.
is our deal.
And that's where you'll find our schedule. And
Where are you playing next?
we are playing, let's
Arizona.
see, November 7th in Cottonwood, Arizona.
I used to live down there, but we got invited the Vintage Motor Car Club of America. I always have a
Oh,
hard
that's a
time saying that.
mouthful. Sounds
Yeah,
fun,
it
though.
is. It will be fun. We played their annual gathering, whatever their convention, a couple of years ago.
continue on.
Whether that's important news or not, but
It's always important news at
is
that
it?
point.
Yeah, you don't
You
want
gotta
to
have the
keep
camera.
talking, right?
We've done that a lot.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll be doing that in.
And then going on to
In
the
Arizona.
IWMA convention
Yeah.
in Albuquerque
New Mexico.
that
Yeah,
week.
we're gonna miss that one this year. We couldn't do Montana and New Mexico all in 1 year, but it's
That's a
a
lot of-
fun time. I heard it's back down in Old Town.
It is. It
Which
is.
is my
I think it's been
favorite
down
location.
there.
The other people that you've seen in the video today also have CDs. I'm assuming there may be a book amongst somewhere.
I don't know if there's any books yet. Cheryl Cedarberg has a CD out that has been nominated for
Yes.
Cowboy Poetry of the Year.
She's
CD,
been nominated
and Cheryl
for female
has been nominated for Female Cowboy Poet of the Year.
for 2021.
So we'll find out in
so-
November
Some
about that
talented
too.
people
So,
around.
And,
like I say, Cheryl is. I mean, we've got some very talented people in this
Peggy
group. Peggy Douglas
has
has
several CDs, yes.
CDs
3
out.
Badger Clark ones.
2 or 3 for Badger Clark,
And then some of her
and
own from-
2 or 3 others.
Yeah.
She's an incredible historian all on her
Yes.
own.
She
yes.
is.
And,
And
has-
then Ricardo,
and has a
who is
musician.
new to the cowboy poetry
let's just get
genre,
started.
but he is a longtime poet, stage actor, stuntman in Hollywood,
Hi, Chaparral.
and
Those
he
horses.
actually has been our photographer too, done all of our promo photos. So very
Multi-talented,
talented
lives right
person,
down the road here,
and we're
so-
glad to have him because he adds a really interesting aspect to the idea of cowboy poetry.
For sure. Anyway, that's kind of to sum up that deal with all of that, I think.
I think we
Anything
came
else?
We're
full
looking
circle.
forward,
Yeah, we did.
really looking forward to putting this together and having things gel, choreograph our programs,
Yeah,
and be ready to get
maybe
the,
2 or 3 different
out there.
versions of the program depending upon the venue and
Yeah,
the length of time for the schools or for, somewhere around a chuck wagon, campfire, whatever, different things like that. So anyway, we're looking forward to that.
We're going to sum up this episode of Trailer Tales. Thank you for tuning in and watching. And make sure you catch next week's or next month's. We've got a lot of talented people coming around. And we're going to ramble on. So
Ramble on. That's
thanks, Abby.
we'll see you
Thank
guys
you,
next
Abby.
time.
All right, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks
Bye-bye.
for listening.
Well, Longhorns are gone, and the Drovers are gone, the Comanches are gone, and the Outlaws are gone. Quattro is gone, Stan Waddy is gone, the Lion is gone, and the Red Wolf is gone. Well, one morning we searched his abode. He disappeared without even a word. That night when the moon crossed the mountain, one more coyote was heard. And he'd go,
Fabulous, Kevin.